Hello and welcome to the Ars Electronica Center. Another week, another media announcement of a wonderful award that we are giving away. Again, an award that we are giving away on behalf of the European Commission. It's the STARTS Prize 2023. The winners will be announced now, and just let me give you a little overview of what STARTS actually is. It started in 2016 with the first STARTS Prize. Iris van Herpen was one of the winners with her super exciting collaborations with the physicists from CERN and designers and engineers. And year by year, we have been able to select an exciting variety of different prize winners. There are actually two prizes that we are giving away. It's both cases, the main idea is to have the STARTS Prize as a way to honor innovation in technology, industry and society, and now comes the important part, stimulated by the arts. So it's again one of these activities where the driving force, the core of activities of innovation and inspiration comes from the arts. There are two prizes, as I said, each of them is awarded with 20,000 euros each. And the first one is the Grand Prize for Innovative Collaboration. So this is, as the title says, an award that is singling out, awarding, celebrating projects that really go deep into this very important matter of interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary collaboration and really crossing these areas from art and creativity to business, industry, and in particular also society. The second Grand Prize is for artistic exploration, and I think also this title gives it away already. It's an award for excellence in artistic approaches towards these topics that are so important in this STARTS competition. The topics of how to innovate in business, how to innovate in industry, how to innovate in society. And you will see that in particular this societal aspect of STARTS has been growing year by year. It's really one of the dominant factors, and I think this is of course very timely. The STARTS initiative is, of course, much more than the STARTS Prize, and my colleague Veronika Liebl will tell you much more about this now and also introduce the partners that are working with us together to make the STARTS Prize happen. Please, Veronika.
Indeed, thank you so much. Gerfried STARTS is really not only the prize, it is a whole European initiative, actually the European Lighthouse Initiative to honor innovation at the nexus of art, science and technology. From 2016 to today, more than 150 residencies were funded with more than 4.5 million euros of public funding and honored also more than 230 STARTS Prize projects since its inception. Of course, today it's impossible to imagine innovative processes without the creative and cultural industries. And in particular, we all know that economic added value is no longer sufficient for innovation. We really need to do justice also to ecological and social requirements. This nexus, this interplay of social, ecological, and economic values is really systematically addressed by the STARTS initiative since the very beginning, and continuously funded by DG Connect, the Directorate General for Communication Networks, Content and Technology, and also the Horizon Research Funding Program. So thanks a lot for this continuous support. Ars Electronica is not alone in this big initiative. We are actually part of a larger network with more than 100 organizations currently working on several layers, on residencies, as I said, of course, on also regional initiatives, on educational initiatives, also on research pilots. We, specifically for the prize, actually collaborate with a couple of organizations since many years, WAAG in Amsterdam, the BOSA, the Center for Fine Arts in Brussels. We also are joined by Frankfurt Book Fair with their specific Arts Plus strand, and French Tech Grand Provence, a French association for startup promotion. We also have 2 specific innovation agencies in our cohort of members, with T6 in Italy and Innova Plus in Portugal, who actually analyzed the methodologies worked by or elaborated by the STARTS Prize winners and bring them then also towards industry and research partners. Together, we designed a whole process for the STARTS Prize for submission and evaluation, which I would like to just give you a brief overview how that looked like this year. Submissions were possible from January 11th to March 13th. The competition actually invited artists, researchers, creative professionals from really all over the world. And I think in these days particularly is really specifically important to mention that with that initiative, the European Commission took a conscious step of not only awarding innovation from Europe, but really internationally to bring out the diversity, to bring also this diversity back to Europe and allow also knowledge exchange between different innovators and artistic thinkers all around the globe. Since the STARTS Prize is offered in parallel to the Ars Electronica, submitters were able to submit to both competitions at the same time. In addition to the open call, we actually invited an international advisory board, a pool of experts, to consult us and also nominate projects. The submissions had to go to the same evaluation and submission process, but allowed us really this big advantage of a huge scope of diverse projects coming from various geographical and cultural disciplines, also from, of course, a variety of collaborations of technological use cases, and a big scope of grassroots initiatives to really big tech projects. Then a jury of 4 people came together in Linz. We more or less locked them up for 4 days in a jury room here in Linz, gave them a bit of water and a lot of chocolate to come up with the selection of the 2 grand prize winners, 10 honorary mentions and 18 nominations. The winning projects should actually demonstrate excellence in one of the following areas. Either groundbreaking collaborations and projects driven by both arts and technology, artistic work and practice that have a strong connection to innovation, or technological and scientific research and development inspired by the arts or involving artists as catalysts for this new type of thinking. The 2 categories were already introduced by Gerfried. Both of them receive actually 20,000 euros prize money, and they will be presented quite widely all over Europe. Of course, starting at the Ars Electronica Festival from September 6th to 10th, but also afterwards, if you can't get enough at the Ars Electronica Festival, you can also visit various occasions in Europe and beyond in autumn. For example, the Frankfurt Book Fair will host a dedicated STARTS Day on October 20th. There will be an exhibition in Beaux-Arts in Brussels, and further events, including one in the Genie Foundation in Venice at San Giorgio Maggiore, will actually happen also this autumn. This year marks already the 8th time the STARTS Prize is being awarded. And of course, we are more than happy that Ars Electronica is doing this continuously already since the very beginning on behalf of the European Commission, and even more happy that actually up to today we received more than 13,000 submissions in these past years. The big success of this prize is also mirrored in an overwhelming number of applications. This year alone, we had 1,637 submissions from 78 countries. One of the greatest assets of the STARTS Prize is really the diversity, as I said. So there is an unparalleled scope of different projects, reaching from projects which really support the Green Deal and ecological innovation in the field of biodiversity, sustainable manufacturing and construction, also circular economy, towards projects which, focus more technological and digital innovation with giving us users more power and control over technologies or more agency or build our digital literacy. And of course, all of them really focus also social innovation as their core focus. Part of the success finding this diversity of also the scope of projects is every year our fantastic jury. This year, we included representatives from industry, culture, academia, innovation, and policy making. And we had these brilliant minds. Meinhard Lukas, who is professor of civil law and holding the office of rector at the Johannes Kepler University. Monica Bello, the curator and head of arts at CERN at the European Organization for Nuclear Research in Geneva. Bernd Fesel, the newly appointed CEO of the EIT for Culture and Creativity and former director of the European Creative Business Network. Jun Inada is a department head at RICO, a multinational ICT company with its headquarters in Japan, Tokyo. And we were joined also by Francesca Bria Online, the president of the Italian National Innovation Fund and board member of the Italian public media company RAI. So thanks to all of them. Congratulations also to their fantastic choice. We love it. And I think it's also now time to finally reveal the fantastic choice they made. For this, I would actually ask Masha Zolotova, who is actually managing the ST+ARTS Prize on stage, and you're going to reveal the first winner.
So the first prize that we will be presenting is the Great Prize for Artistic Exploration, and this year it goes to Alexandra Daisy Ginsberg for her wonderful project Pollinator Pathmaker, and now we will present a short video about it.
Pollinator Pathmaker is an artwork for pollinators. What you see behind me is a garden that's being planted. It's 55 meters long, and it's quite different from other gardens because it's not designed for us. Instead, I've created an algorithm for the taste of pollinators. So the algorithm organizes the plants, chooses plants, and arranges them to support the maximum number of pollinator species possible. And you can go to the website pollinator.art and actually create your own edition of this artwork. You can then download planting instructions, and with that you get your own certificate of authenticity for your artwork. Then we invite you to plant your own piece of art for pollinators.
So at Eden we're looking to create gardens which are not just great for people, but they're great for wildlife too. But we're hoping it inspires people also to take it home and to use the website to create their own plantings, whatever their space in their garden.
The Pollinator Pathmaker project is a collaborative work bringing together people here at Eden and beyond, and hopefully you. The idea is to give us a sense of agency. And my big goal is that we can create the largest ever climate positive artwork by seeding a network of pollinator artworks around the world.
Without pollinators, many plants can't reproduce and make seeds. Without seeds, many of the trees, flowers, and crops we rely on simply would not exist. Plants are vital to the survival of life on Earth, including us. And how and what we plant matters. So Ginsberg asked, what would a garden look like if it were designed for pollinators' perspective rather than ours? Pollinators see colors differently from us, forage in different ways, and emerge in different seasons to each other. As a result, a garden designed for them may look quite different from a garden designed for us. At the heart of Pollinator Pathmaker is the timely reimagination of what art can be and who is it for. By making art for pollinators, Ginsberg emphasizes the urgency of moving beyond anthropocentric approaches and aesthetics in the face of the climate and biodiversity crisis. Pollinator Pathmaker initiates this shift by promoting empathy for other species and by opening wider conversation on how art can be made for non-human audience and have a positive impact on our shared planet, and by introducing the empathetic level to technology, by demonstrating the alternative approach to artificial intelligence. Ginsberg calls herself Pollinator Pathmaker living sculpture. It is an artwork made of materials that are alive, and its success is dependent on the relationship between different species and their environment. It is unlike most sculptures because it looks different, from month to month as plants and pollinators move through their seasonal cycles. It encourages communities to plant artworks that help support species at risk. And here you just see a few images from the previous editions and also some visual materials on how the garden can look from different perspectives over different seasons. The first edition for the Eden project, Cornwall, has been presented in the video that we just watched, but it's very important that the project continues with the further editions. Commissioned by Serpentine, the second pollinator pathmaking edition is located in Kensington Gardens in London, where 500 square meters is spread across 11 mandarin beds algorithmically computed as a single planting scheme to serve the greatest diversity of pollinator species and planted over spring 2022. And the latest edition, actually the first international edition, is commissioned by the Light-Art-Space-Art Foundation and is located outside the Berlin's Museum of Natural History. Planted by many helpers in spring 2023, this edition features more than 7,000 plants of 80 varieties over 722 square meter plot. The last edition uses newly developed palette, which is filled with plants that will thrive in the hot summers and the cold winters of continental European gardens, including much of Germany, Poland, Austria, and beyond. Expanding its roots from UK to Berlin, Pollinator Pathmaker underscores its commitment to international collaboration and regional environmental sustainability. And now I would like to quote from the jury statement about this project. In its essence, it is a remarkable piece of environmental art and conservation that holds the well-being of endangered pollinating insects above human aesthetics. It represents an innovative paradigm where art exists for the sake of this living organism. It is an innovative marriage of artistic creativity with scientific understanding that promotes ecological awareness. The outcomes of this groundbreaking blend of art, science, and technology offer sanctuaries for pollinators, nurturing biodiversity and bolstering our ecosystem resilience. Beyond the gardens themselves, Pollinator Pathmaker extends its reach online. This platform empowers anyone to harness the power of its algorithm and design their own pollinator-friendly garden, encourage a wider engagement in environmental conservation. As Pollinator Pathmaker continues to blossom, it serves as a vivid illustration of the crucial role of innovative exploration and the intersection of art, ecology, and technology can play in tackling key ecological challenges. We eagerly anticipate more artworks for pollinators, enhancing habitats and inspiring global environmental consciousness. This unique artwork contributes to a more diverse and comprehensive understanding of our environment as an ecology of knowledge. We congratulate one more time Alexandra Daisy Ginsberg for her wonderful project. And now I'm passing over to Veronika to present the next winner.
Thank you so much. I hope you all imagine drum rolls currently for the big reveal of the big grand prize for innovative collaboration, which goes to Richard Moss and his project Broken Spectra. Richard Moss is an Ireland-born and New York-based artist who has consistently documented historically significant subjects and used novel ways of photography and techniques. He has exhibited really worldwide, from National Gallery of Art, the Barbican Art Gallery, the Akademie der Künste, Victoria and Albert Museum, or the Irish Pavilion at the 55th Venice Biennial, just to name a few. He has also published 8 books and has earned multiple awards. His recent work, Broken Spectra, is a multi-annual research project with a captivating video artwork as an outcome, which takes viewers on a dream-like journey into the Amazon rainforest. It shows then the devastating impact of deforestation and industrial destruction, which is happening but often actually goes unnoticed. The artist uses a variety of really powerful scientific imaging technologies to capture these realities and also to reveal what the shocking processes are behind, from illegal lodging, from massive fires, unregulated gold mining, and stealing of indigenous land. Of course, he shows also by this the impacts of these devastating actions, like flooding, like, of course, the dying of species, and the destruction of rivers. the deforestation of the Amazon is in a way a global symptom, a global symbol also of the man-made destruction of our ecosystems and also the failing of the Paris Agreement. Recent scientific studies really show that the Amazon is at some time or reaching a tipping point soon where it might no longer be able to regenerate or generate rain, triggering really mass forest diebacks and carbon release, not only on regional level, but really on global scales. And this is exactly what Richard Moss tries to address also in a stunning way in his artwork, which is really as much as an artwork as also a technological masterpiece. It actually took him and his whole team more than 3 years to capture the footage using this range of scientific imaging technologies, including also multispectral sensors that measure infrared. Usually environmental scientists use these technologies to see also the process in environmental changes and climate changes, understand also tipping points. In this case, he was not able to actually purchase the camera on the market. He really had to make his own, and along the process also Richard Moss was becoming something like an inventor for many aspects, for many parts of the project to really achieve this artistic vision he had in mind. Not only did he create the world's first multispectral camera specifically designed for geographic information systems, which allowed him to capture the images using different wavelengths of light to see also what usually human eyes are not able to see, but he also actually founded his own film lab because the film labs were not able to process the very unconventional footage he produced over the time, which really leads to a spectacular quality of imagery in his work. The outcome then is a immersive 74-minute film on 4 channels in 4K with different ecological narratives. It was actually currently presented in the National Gallery of Victoria in Australia and really celebrated alike by critics and audiences. You can actually see the 3 different styles of imageries. You see them in the picture behind me. One shows overhead shots of the destruction of the forest through airborne footage and shows also the devastating scale of destruction. One depicts black and white images where you can watch illegal mining, burning, also humans, of course, felling trees. And within these black and white images, you also visit the villages of the Yanomami people. And the third one offers deep close-ups of the forest woods and floors, nearly microscopic imageries describing also the complex system in the Amazon in scientific detail. For this specific project, he actually paired up with a sound designer, Ben Frost, who recorded various sounds also directly in the Amazon, including the roar of flames, also chainsaws, dying animals, and many other sounds you can hear in the video. As much as Moss actually wanted to depict really this environmental catastrophe, he also wanted to show the human side of the tragedy from the Yanomami and Munduruku indigenous communities fighting really for survival to also illegal gold miners poisoning and destroying entire river ecosystems for a handful of gold. And he says that exactly these environmental crimes are often carried out by regular people. He wanted to mirror this ambiguity also in his work, and he wanted also to show, of course, the respect towards the indigenous communities where he built really relationships over the 3 years, relationships without whom the project would have also not been possible. And for this and many other points, the jury was particularly excited about the project. Broken Spectre, they say, is not only a collaboration of innovators that stretch the boundaries of current technologies to uncover the yet unseen. It let us also rethink the purpose of collaboration by actively involving indigenous communities in capturing and producing this evidence. Congratulations to Richard Moss for this truly stunning project. And now we get actually an overview of all the other fantastic projects, this huge diversity, which received the honorary mention for this year's STARTS Prize. Gerfried.
Thank you. Well, I think I will spare you the overview because with so many more exciting projects, I would probably spend just at least another half an hour or even more. I recommend to look at the wonderful webpage because you can not only see many more details about this exciting prize-winning project, but of course also you can get really a great glimpse of the variety of projects that come with the honorary mentions. With these two exciting prize-winning projects, one might think it was an easy job for the jury to make the decisions, but believe me, with the extremely high number of super excellent and high-quality projects, it was a big thing to make these selections. The variety of projects covers, of course, very intensely everything that is related to our big environmental issues, projects that are dealing with how to limit the damage of the climate change, how to cope with the results and the consequences of the climate change. But we have, of course, many of the very interesting technologies of our days also involved. We have projects dealing with virtual reality, with avatars, with the metaverse, with augmented and mixed reality. We have projects, of course, where the blockchain is an issue. But you see, when you look at this project, it's not about the technology, it's always about the application. For example, utilizing AI, picture recognition to identify weapons and other issues in war and war crime scenes is a very important point. We have a wonderful project where, in a super speculative way, artists are proposing to build a computer out of and in collaboration with plants and other creatures, something that really sounds very spectacular for us nowadays, but maybe it's another way to look into the future. It's another way to look into the future that you see in these projects, despite the conflicts, the war scenarios that we have, despite the huge challenges of environmental change and troubles, a perspective that shows us if we're able to reshape our relationship to nature, but also the way how we utilize technology, then we definitely might have a chance. And another important point, of course, is coming together. I think this is one of the big issues of the STARTS Prize, this crossover of collaborations. And this will be, of course, also the main issue when we present the STARTS initiative and the STARTS Prize winners at the festival this year. I hope you know it already. It's Post City again, September 6th to 10th, 5 days packed with exciting projects. There will be, of course, the exhibitions with the prize-winning projects. There is the STARTS Day, a whole day where conferences, lectures, discussions will be devoted to these topics. We have the award ceremony, we have many workshops, and in particular, I think this is always very important, the festival is so dense, that's why we have our We Guide You tour. So even without studying for hours, days or weeks, all the details of the program, just come to Post City and enjoy, and we will guide you through our program. I will guide you now to the end of this press conference and say goodbye to the people who joined us on Facebook and YouTube, because we are now switching over to the Zoom for Q&A. Thank you.